Alright, what's up guys? My name is Markell Jones. I'm going to teach you how to do a hanger crank 180. Alright, to keep it 100, saying the name of the trick was the hardest part in all of that. Alright, so here's some prerequisites. It's going to be switch hanger for one. It is always switch hanger, and it's always whatever foot forward you are. So usually that's your switch hanger. So whatever foot forward you are, that's the side that you'll be doing your hanger on. For me, it's a little bit easier because I spin out, like I turn left, and that's the way you have to turn out of it. But normal people, you would be spinning opposite basically. So it might look just a tad bit easier for me, but it's not that bad once you get the basics done.
Do you need to really know how to crank arm grind? Do you really need to know how to bunny hop? And then
more or less you should learn how to do hangers a little bit before this, but crank arms you don't really need, because in reality you're not holding the crank super long, or at least I don't. When I do it, you kind of like, the momentum of you dropping down will carry you for the rest of that spin. So hangers mostly, you should probably know how to get out of a 180 also, and crank arms is a little bit.
Hanger 180 would probably help, no?
No, hanger 180 is completely different. You'll definitely want to learn how to do regular hangers. That's just like you know the basis of the trick. You want to learn switch hanger. You definitely need to learn crank arms just a little bit, and you'll definitely need to know how to 180. Oh, of course, before all of that, you need to know how to bunny hop, because if you can't hop, then you can't do the rest of the steps. 100% you do not need to know how to crank arm 180, because I don't know how to crank arm 180. I can't crank arm 180, but I can hanger crank 180. It's the momentum. It takes you different. Because I would actually just do the trick because I know how to do it. No, all right, so basically when I'm going to warm up for it, you can do like a little switch hanger, and it's not one of those tricks where you need to do the whole rail to really do the trick properly. You can really just do it like a little short end, like something like that.
That's your switch hanger?
Yeah, and that's my switch hanger. I'm normally on my left side. And basically, once you get a little more comfortable with it, you could just, you know, get a little longer, it's a little steeper. Before you get to the spinning part, you basically need to get used to dropping down. So it almost feels like you're messing up in a way. In a sense, it feels like you're not properly doing the hanger, because you want to be steep, you don't want to drop it. But for the hang crank 180, you have to literally go like this and then fall. Like, you have to fall into your crank. That's the only way. That is one of those tricks where it's kind of like the only way to really, really warm up for it is to just try it. Find you a nice rail. It doesn't have to be long. I learned it on the shorter rail. Just practice it. Just literally practice falling from your hanger to your crank. And you basically just like, you know, just drop it. That's all it is. You're just dropping your bike. Don't worry about it landing it the first few times. That's definitely not meant to be landed. You're not meant to do just a hanger to crank arm. Your body wants you to shift. So you're gonna feel like, oh, I can spin out of it. And then that's when you're ready to actually attempt the rest of it, which is the spin. All right, and here's probably where you'll get to, like when you're first trying it. You see how like my body just easily rotated? I didn't have to pull my bike or anything super hardcore for it. It just works itself out. Yep, and then as you get more comfortable, it gets a little more easier. And then eventually, you just go for the full thing. Full momentum, you go and you try. I think if you hit your crank just a little bit harder, like if you drop a little bit faster, you'll spin out more, like easy, if that makes sense. Like, oop, oop. Very sketchy. Barely even counts because I think my wheel hit, but here's a better one for you. Keep it going. Oh, my wheel keeps tapping a little bit. The rail is a little bit higher to make it a little bit easier, but it's still very much possible in here. Beautiful. Beautiful. I just hit my crank in like the right position. Like I just dropped down and turned early. Sometimes if you
crank or more pedal?
Well, yeah, crank arms in general, you're more or less like in this position, like between like the pedal and the crank. It's not actually all pedal, and it's not all crank. It's like right here, a little sweet spot right there. You'll feel it. Yeah. Out of breath a little bit. The most common hang up I have when it comes to like not landing this trick, when something's really going wrong, it's usually the crank arm part. It's usually where you're dropping, where you either don't drop it enough sideways and you kind of drop too close to the rail and you can't spin out enough, or you're just not getting into the right positioning. So it makes spinning out hard. And that's when you kind of land like hanger to crank and you don't spin at all.
A little different.
They don't want the long guy.
I see it. That was the best one of the day.
Practice. Just practice, 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 and you'll get there. Eventually, it's not going to be that hard, and then you can start trying it down rails once you get comfortable. I prefer it down rail, but
What about up
that's
rail?
advanced. I don't even think I've done one up rail.
I'm gonna make you do it today now.
It's only because it's switch. It depends on how comfortable you are with your switch or regular, but a lot of people like doing switch more than regular. My name is Markell Jones. Obviously, you knew that, but that's about it. Thank you guys for tuning in. Bam. Bam.
Too easy. Wuhan.